Yo, what is going on, guys? Joey Shirkenbach is back here with another video for you guys. Guys, it is Saturday night, and I'm going to be giving you my game picks for Week 13 we're at now of the 2021 NFL season. So let's jump right on into it, guys. Coming up with the first game, we have the 6-5 Chargers at the 7-4 Bengals. So, the Chargers skidding right now. I've been saying it for a while. I thought they were overrated. That take does seem to be aging pretty well. I just think that they're a decent team, but they're not great, and they're not remotely as good as the Chiefs. At least I think, and I think that they'll be a 7 seed at best. The offense is struggling. The defense is just a big-time liability. Bengals, meanwhile, they have been very back and forth this year, but I don't know. It might be time to start considering them like a legitimate playoff team. I've been skeptical of them because they've been so inconsistent. You know, they played the Browns when they were really cold and they got shellacked at home. But then they just beat the absolute crap out of the Steelers and looked great on both sides of the ball. So, regardless, I still don't think the Bengals are that good, but they're still solid and they're definitely not a fluke. So, it's in Cincinnati. The Chargers are cold. The Bengals have been playing well. They're fresh off a bye. I'm going to go with the Bengals here, guys. Let's go with Cincinnati 27-17. Next game, guys, we have the 8-3 Bucks at the 5-6 Falcons. So the Bucks coming off a wild win against the Colts last week. That was a crazy game, man. Back and forth. They were down, but they came back. So a big win for the Bucks. The offense got back on track after a stretch of some rough games. Falcons, meanwhile, 5-6. They're actually doing a bit better. And yes, my dog says hi. They're actually doing a bit better. They're still not good, obviously, but 5-6. They're starting. I think they were like maybe 3-6 at one point, so they're getting a bit better, I guess. But obviously, this should not be close. Low key, I could see the Falcons getting off to a lead, but the Bucks will come back. I remember last year this kind of happened. I remember the Falcons getting off to a lead, but they choked because what's new? The Bucks came back. I could see a similar thing happening. I think the Falcons might score the first points, but the Bucks will then dominate after that. I'm gonna go with the Bucks here, guys. 34-17. Next game, guys, we have the 4-7 Giants at the 5-7 Dolphins. So the Giants, not good as repeated over and over again. They're just not. You know, Daniel Jones is not that guy at quarterback. They have like one of the worst offensive lines in the league, if not the worst. Their defense is It's not as good as it was last year. And Barkley, when healthy, is very good, but he really can't do anything running behind that line. It's just atrocious. It's block sheds every play. So the Giants are not good. The Dolphins, man, hey, they've won 4 in a row. Is it 4 in a row? Yeah, they've won 4 in a row, and they've been doing better. And I actually saw a tweet from source about how they have a quote unquote easy schedule coming up next. They have the Giants, and I think they have some bad teams coming up after that. So the Dolphins might go from like 1-7 to at least 7-7, but they got to stay hot and they got to take advantage of these easy teams that they're about to play. So yeah, the Dolphins, I wouldn't rule them out as a 7th seed. I know I may be getting ahead of myself here, but don't rule them out. Anyways, it's in Miami. The Dolphins absolutely have to win this game. Their playoffs start now. They can't lose again if they want even a chance at the playoffs, especially with how good the AFC is this year. It's in Miami. They're hot right now. I definitely think the Dolphins are going to take this one. I'm going to go with Miami here, guys. Let's go with Miami. Let's go 24-17. I still think Miami's offense is going to struggle a little bit, but I'm going to take Miami to win this one. We'll go 24-17. Next game, guys, we have the 6-6 Colts at the 2-9 Texans. So the Colts had been hot for a while, did come off a tough loss to the Bucks last week, and I think, you know, they really needed to prove a statement by beating the Bucks because, you know, the Bucks are a good team. It was a great opportunity for them to do that, and it was looking like they were going to. They had a lead. They were doing great, but they kind of fell apart in the second half and could not recover in time to win. So there's that. But the Texans suck. So they did get that one win against the Titans, but the Texans suck. So this should be a pretty easy win for the Colts. I mean, they're going to be mad after that loss to the Bucks. I don't see how they could lose this game. They're still hot. I mean, they did lose that one game, but they're still pretty hot. So I'm going to go with the Colts here, guys. Let's go with Indianapolis. 35-17. Next game, guys, we have the 5-6 Vikings at the 0-10-1 Lions. So the Lions found some way to lose last week, man. Like they always do, they find some way to lose. It's just laughable. Vikings, meanwhile, man, they're hanging in there, 5-6. They are better than their record indicates. I don't think they've been blown out once this year. They play every team tough. They just happen to be the team that comes out in the loss column in close games. So I guess that kind of indicates that, excuse me, someone is to blame. Whether it's the coach, whether it's the quarterback, they need to win the big games, and they don't seem to be doing that. But hey, they're making every game close, and they are a tough team. So Vikings are not an easy win at all. I think this will be an opportunity for the Vikings to win easily because the Lions suck, and at this point, they're probably just tanking. I mean, if they win, cool, but they're just going to tank for next season to try to get the number 1 draft pick. So it's in Detroit. I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. The Lions suck is an understatement. I'm going to go with the Vikings here, guys. 45-10. It should be an absolute massacre. Next game, guys, we have the 5-7 Eagles at the 3-8 Jets. So the Eagles, they're overperforming a bit, but I still just don't think they're that good. I mean, 5-7 is very mediocre as it is, but they're just not a very good team. I think Jalen Hurts is out for this game. He's out with maybe an ankle injury, it is. The Jets, meanwhile, I mean, they suck, but at the same time, 2 of their wins have been against good teams. They beat the Titans, who were injured, to be fair, but a win is a win. They also beat the Bengals. So that's cool. And then I don't know. This is not a game anybody particularly really cares about, I don't think. But it's in New York, but I think the Eagles are the better team. I guess I'll take the Eagles. They have more to play for. So I'm going to take Philadelphia here, guys. Let's go with Philadelphia 30-23. Next game, guys, we have the 9-2 Cardinals at the 4-7 Bears. So the Cardinals, I saw it was a game time decision. So DeAndre Hopkins and Kyler Murray, their injuries must have been worse than originally predicted because I thought they were out for a game or two and then they'd be back. I think they've been out for at least a few games now. And I saw from a source on Twitter that they're going to be pure game time decisions for this game, Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins. So we'll see. Bears, meanwhile, they're just not good. They hang on. They're a little scrappy, but they're simply not good. No quarterback. Robinson is having a big time down year. And their defense isn't as good as it used to be. It's also they just get tired because their offense is so bad. So that's cool. Cardinals, meanwhile, I mean, if DeAndre Hopkins and Kyler Murray do not play, they have shown that they can win without them. It's not easy, and I'm sure they're not a huge fan of it, but they've gotten it done. So regardless of who plays, I think the Cardinals will be able to win this game. They're a nice, well-rounded team. Their defense has gotten better and better throughout the season, I think. So I'm going to take the Cardinals here, guys, with or without Murray and Hopkins. Let's go with Arizona, 31-17. Next game, guys, we have the 2-9 Jaguars at the 7-4 Rams. So the Jaguars, laughable. They suck. What's new? Rams are, I think, kind of overrated, honestly. They really don't seem to be beating the good teams, except for the Bucs, I guess. And Stafford is struggling big time. I think Stafford has gone from, the most underrated quarterback in the league to a little overrated just because he really is having a hard time beating the good teams. I mean, he lost to the Niners, who aren't even that good. He lost to the Packers. He did beat the Bucs. I'll give him that. But he really seems to be struggling against the good teams, which is a problem. If you want to be a great quarterback in this league, you do have to beat the good teams. So the Rams are in a skid right now. They haven't been playing great. The Packers kind of owned them last week. Their defense played horribly. So, yeah, the Rams are not doing very well right now. But I think this is a great opportunity for them to get a bounce-back win. The Jaguars are horrible. The Rams are also at home. This shouldn't be close. I'm going to go with the Rams here, guys. Let's go with the Rams 34-17. Next game, guys, we have the 5-6 football team at the 6-5 Raiders. So, Raiders, they're hanging in there, man. I mean, despite all of the shenanigans that's gone on here. Henry Ruggs, John Gruden, one of their corners, I forget his name, had something too. Excuse me. So, yeah, the Raiders are hanging in there, and they're coming off that big-time overtime win against the Cowboys last week. That was impressive. I'm really impressed that they actually won that game. That was a very well-played game. It was competitive. The Raiders came out on top. Props to them. On the road, too. Football team, meanwhile, they've been playing a bit better lately. They got off to a super rough start. Their defense has been better lately. Their offense has been playing a bit better. Heineke has been playing a bit better. So the football team are in a decent stage right now. But I think the Raiders are going to win this game. They're still hanging on. They still have a slim chance for a playoffs. I don't think they're going to make it. I think they're going to fall short, but they're still trying at least. It's in Las Vegas. I'm going to go with the Raiders here, guys. They play way better at home. So I'm going to go with the Raiders here. 24-21. I think it's going to be on the lower side of scoring, but a good game. 24-21 Raiders. And here we go, guys. Next game, we have the 8-3 Ravens at the 5-1 Steelers. 4:25 game, my favorite time frame, man. Gives me the whole day to do stuff. So, Ravens coming off that Sunday Night Football win against the Browns. Offense, Lamar Jackson played probably the worst game of his career, but the defense played their hearts out. We got the win. Steelers, meanwhile, just got absolutely walloped by the Bengals. They just did not look like themselves. They got destroyed. So originally, it was looking like TJ Watt was not going to play in this game because he got added to the COVID list, but he was vaccinated and he got back-to-back negative tests, so he is back and he is going to play. Granted, he did miss practice all week, but apparently he was tuning in remotely, so it shouldn't really impact him. So TJ Watt is playing after all. So as a Ravens fan, I'm glad he didn't get sent into the COVID, and I'm glad he's healthy from a health standpoint, but I'm kind of dreading the fact that we have to play against him. Anyways, so yeah, TJ Watt is playing. Cameron Hayward, I saw, was questionable. He's dealing with some sort of injury. I forget what it is. So we'll see if he plays. Guys, I mean, Ravens Steelers, no matter how good both teams are, no matter how bad both teams are, it seems like Ravens Steelers games are always close. Almost every single time they're close. There are a few times where the Steelers would win by a fair amount or the Ravens would win by a fair amount, but almost all the time the Ravens Steelers games are close. No matter what, they're always close. So, with that being said, I expect no different here. I think this game's going to be close. I think the Ravens are the way better team, but I still think it's going to be close for a couple reasons. One, Ravens-Steelers, history shows they're always close for the most part. And two, the Ravens just don't want to win comfortably this year. Every game has to be so hard, and every time we have to make it way more work than it needs to be. So, I think this game's going to be close. It's like imperative for Jackson in the offense to get a bounce back game. The offense in general has not been great lately. They weren't great against the Bears. Of course, Lamar Jackson wasn't playing. Horrible last week, led by Lamar Jackson. And let's see, before the Bears, we played the Dolphins. We were horrible on offense. So yeah, the offense has had several straight games now of not playing well. Our last good offensive game was against the Vikings in that wild overtime game. But yeah, the offense has not been playing very well. They got to get it back together. One of the games was without Jackson, but even with Jackson, the offense has not been doing well. So got to get that cleaned up for sure. Jackson, of course, coming off his worst game, 4 interceptions. 3 of them were his fault. The first one wasn't, but they still count as picks. The Ravens' defense, however, although the offense has been struggling, the defense has only gotten better. They've had 3 straight games now of playing lights out ball. Played great against Miami. I mean, I know they did have those blown coverages, but in general, they kept us in the game against Miami. It's just the offense did not have it. Against the Bears, I know we did let up that 1 touchdown, but throughout the game, we played well. And then we just played lights out last week against the Browns. So the defense has been playing well. Steelers, meanwhile, coming off that really rough game, they're just very back and forth. They're just not that good. They're okay, and I definitely think they're a team that needs to be taken seriously, but Roethlisberger, he's old. He even apparently he said today to some people that he knows this is his last season with the Steelers. He's done. He's old. He's washed is an understatement. So I don't see the Ravens losing to old, washed up Ben Roethlisberger, but at the same time, I do see them losing to old, washed up Ben Roethlisberger. I don't think Roethlisberger is going to make any difference, but I think the defense for the Steelers, I know it's having a down year, but they always seem to have Jackson's number for some reason. Jackson has struggled against the Steelers. He is struggling right now in general. The offense, especially Lamar Jackson, have not been good lately, as I was just talking about. So I'm going to take the Steelers here. I think it'll be a low-scoring game. I think both defenses will play well. I do think Najee Harris will have a decent game. He's been doing really well lately. But I still think I don't think he'll do too much. I think it's just, going to be who can hold the ball longer and who can get first downs when it really matters. But I'm going to go with the Steelers here, guys. I think, it's a rivalry. It's a close game. But the Ravens having a lot of issues on offense, and I don't think the Steelers are going to make things any easier for us. So I'm going to go with Pittsburgh here, edging us out. Let's go with Pittsburgh 21-13. Next game, guys, we have the 6-5 49ers at the 3-8 Seahawks. This is another 425 game. So the 49ers, they're doing better now. They got off to a solid start, got into a skid, excuse me, and now they've been doing better, so that's cool. Seattle, meanwhile, sucks. I don't know. It seems like even when Russell Wilson came back, they haven't been doing any better. They're losing games. They're just not doing well. But I think, yeah, they just lost to Washington on Monday night. So that's not good. And then from the 49ers standpoint, this is a great opportunity to keep going because the Seahawks, of course, are struggling. The Rams are struggling. So the excuse me, if the Niners can get the win tomorrow and the Rams lose, which is unlikely, but if it happens, the Niners are now in second place in the NFC West because they have the tiebreaker over the Rams because they already beat them this year. So that's another thing to keep in mind. So I think the Niners will get this win. Seattle just simply does not have it right now. They're struggling on both sides of the ball. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. I have a little bit of a cough here. But anyways, Seahawks are struggling. So I think the Niners are going to get this win. They're hot right now. I'm going to go with San Francisco here, guys. Let's go with San Fran 27-23. I think it's going to be a good game, but I'm going to go with San Francisco. All right, guys, this is our Sunday Night Football game. We have the 6-5 Broncos at the 7-4 Chiefs. So, the Broncos, very back and forth. They look great one week, trash the other week. Great the next week, trash the other week. Again, very back and forth. Coming off wins, coming off losses. I think they did just beat the Chargers. They looked good last week. But so I guess that means they'll look terrible tomorrow because it seems like it's every other week. The Chiefs, meanwhile, have definitely shown signs of getting it back together. The offense is getting it back together. The defense has been playing much, much better. So that's the Chiefs. They're coming off a bye, I'm pretty sure. I think they had a bye last week. So they should be nice and fresh. If anyone was dealing with injuries, minor injuries, they should be back and ready to go. It's in KC. The Broncos, again, very back and forth. But the Chiefs are hot right now. They're coming off the bye. I think the Chiefs are going to get this win. They're rolling. This is a great opportunity for them. They're at home on Sunday night. So I'm going to go with Kansas City here, guys. Let's go with KC. Let's go 31-24 Kansas City. I think it's going to be a good game, but the Chiefs will come out on top. All right, guys, this is our last game. Very good game here. 8-4 Patriots at the 7-4 Bills. This is Monday Night Football. So, sorry again for this, guys. It's got this cough going on. The Patriots are hot, like hot as it gets. They've won 6 in a row. Both sides of the ball are doing really well. The defense has been playing well. The offense has been playing well. Bills, meanwhile, are doing pretty well also. The offense is playing well. The defense is playing well. So that's great for them. With it being in Buffalo, I do think that the Bills have the advantage here. Also, the weather for this game is going to play a factor also. So, some lake effect snow is possible, I saw, for this game. And in Buffalo, it's like always windy. So it's going to be windy and perhaps snowy. So, I guess arguably that favors the Patriots because they love to run the ball. So that can help them. The Bills, meanwhile, they love to throw it. So that could perhaps be a disadvantage towards them. But it's going to be a really good game. I think this is the big test for the Patriots. I still think they're overrated. I think they've kind of had a really easy schedule. But this is competition for them because they're finally playing a good team that is healthy. So this could go either way. I think this is going to be a really good game. I'm really looking forward to watching it. But I'm going to take the Bills here. I think the Patriots have had a pretty easy schedule. And now the Bills are going to kind of give them a little bit of a wake-up call. So I'm going to go with the Bills here, guys. It's going to be close. I'm going to go with Buffalo 27-24. I think it's going to be a good game, but the Bills come out on top 27-24. And, guys, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And I am out. Peace out. Have a great night. Thank you so much for watching. Go Ravens, and I will see you tomorrow night after the game.